The call-up of Ryan Glynn, the 30-year-old veteran who had pitched previously with Texas and Toronto, was made this afternoon in the hopes that the A's might get starters going deeper into the ball games, as had Herron and Zito earlier in this homestand. Seth Etherton had been scheduled to pitch tonight in a starting role, but his two starts after his initial outing for the A's had not been nearly as successful nor gone as deep in the game, and so he was moved to the pen. Glynn got the start and did nicely, particularly the first 3 innings. We had a pair of shutout pitchers going after 3 frames, and along the way in that 3rd inning, Glynn got a good idea of the kind of defense you might get behind you when you come to the big show again, as Orlando Hudson, leading off in the 3rd inning, hit just a harmless foul, but it turns into an out when Chavez is tracking it.
And now the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and popped up, third base side, foul territory toward the bullpen. Chavez racing, reaching, and makes a great catch. Boy, he's got a patent on that. Took one quick look to find out where he was as he angled toward the pitcher's mound down there. And running forever the vast acreage in foul territory at the Coliseum and pulled it down over the shoulder with a basket catch.
After those 3 scoreless innings, the veteran Frank Catalanato, who had been the only man to reach base off Glynn, was leading off in the 4th, and he was looking in the right place.
Here's a drive to right on the first pitch of the 4th inning that's gone. And Toronto takes a 1-0 lead as Catalanato turns on one and hits it up on the steps in dead right field, and it's 1-0 Toronto.
And Catalanato, I might add, had 4 of the 9 hits tonight for the victorious Blue Jays. Glynn settled down, got 2 quick outs, but then he walked Hinsky, one of 2 walks that he would issue, both in the same inning. Wells followed with a hit, and he walked on, and suddenly the bases were loaded, and Hudson at the plate, and Hudson got ahead in the count.
So a huge pitch right here. Glynn bending in to get a sign. Hudson waiting at the plate. The bases are jammed. And now the 3-1 on the way is lined to left center field. That's going to sink for a base hit, and that'll score 2 runs. Hinsky scores. Wells behind him to score. Now the throw comes back to the infield, gets away, rolls into foul territory, but Chavez tracks it down, and so stopping at second is on a soft line drive single to left center by Orlando Hudson, and now it's 3-0 Toronto.
When the A's came up in the bottom of the inning, Eric Chavez was leading off. He had the only hit off Halladay in the first 3 innings, and at that point he was 6 for 17 in his career against the powerful right-hander.
And the 2-1 is a high drive, left center field. Wells going back. He's going to watch, and this is off the wall. Chavez turning at first will go to second with a double. A booming 2-base hit off the fence in left center, and he almost got it out.
Well, the last time Halladay had pitched against the A's here at the Coliseum was back in his Cy Young Award year and was driven out in 3+ innings with 10 hits. Could that possibly be the kind of game the A's could put up against him tonight? Well, Hatterberg was up next to see.
Halladay out of the stretch. The 1-0 pitch is bounced up the middle, back to second, into center field for a base hit. Chavez around third to score, and the A's are on the board. It's 3-1 Toronto. Scott Hatterberg delivers his 19th RBI. That ball hit just slightly right of the second base bag and by the diving backhanded try of the second baseman Hudson. So the A's jump right back against Halladay.
And when Halladay walked Kelty, the next hitter, for the second time in as many at-bats, it looked like the A's might have something really brewing. But then the right-hander threw a double play ball to Dan Johnson, 4-6-3, breaking the back of the hoped-for rally, and he polished off the inning by striking out Bobby Crosby, and the A's had just 1 to show for it. Glynn would go on and shut out the Blue Jays the rest of the time he was on the hill, and he had the aid once again of a nice play by his defense behind him. Aaron Hill, the young rookie who's hit so well in the couple of weeks he's been up, was up with a runner at first and 1 out in the 5th inning. Catalanato, the runner, there's a swing and a looping fly into shallow right. Long run out for Scudero, and he makes a wonderful catch over the shoulder. Whirls goes, double play at first base. Magnificent play by Marco Scudero. His back to the infield. directly over his head and shoulder, reaching out basket style, whirling and firing to Hatterberg to double up the runner at first, and the inning is at an end. A great play. Glenn continued to pitch well for the A's, working very crisply and efficiently on the hill, shutting out the Jays in the 5th and the 6th. And then with 2 out in the 7th, they gave up a base hit. His pitch count was over 100, and it looked like maybe one more batter would be his limit. And would it be the 3rd out or not? It was Reed Johnson at the top of the order.
Again, the runner goes. The 3-2 is swung on and missed, struck him out. And quite an A's debut for Ryan Glenn. A fastball strikes out Reed Johnson, ending the top of the 7th inning. As Glenn goes 7, gives up 6 hits. But as we go to the bottom of the 7th, it is 3-1 Toronto.
Dick Swisher doubled off Halliday in the bottom of the 7th, but there were 2 out at the time, and Scudero caught one on the nose and hit it deep to center, but it was run down by Wells, and that would be the last pitch tonight made by Halliday, especially in the light of what happened in the 8th against Juan Cruz, who came on to start the inning for the A's. Catalanado greeted him with his 4th base hit, a single. Alex Rios ran for Catalanado, and Aaron Hill, who at this point had driven in 13 runs in 13 games in the major leagues, had another at bat.
Cruz to the plate, fastball, bloop, short right field, long run. Swisher goes into a dive, can't get it, and the ball ticks off his glove. Now rolls behind him, rolls into foul territory, and streaking around third is Rios. He will score, and winding up at third is Hill, and now it's 4-1.
And Cruz was to have more trouble with Shea Hillenbrand.
Cruz at the belt and deals. And a breaking ball line to right center for a base hit, and now it's 5-1. Walking home from third is Hill. Hillenbrand singles to right center. 3 consecutive hits off Juan Cruz, and the Blue Jays lead by 4.
Cruz still couldn't get an out. He walked Hinsky, and the call went to Keiichi Yabu to come in, and he had trouble on a 3-2 pitch. He gave up a walk. Suddenly the bases were loaded. Greg Zahn delivered a run with a sacrifice fly. Yabu walked Hudson, but eventually struck out both Adams and Johnson and finished off with a flourish, but by that time it was 6-1, and the Athletics were looking at a big deficit. They trimmed 1 run off it in the 9th inning on a walk, an infield out, and a Swisher single, but closing it out, Batista got the final out, and a 6-2 win for the Blue Jays, and tomorrow it'll be Blanton against Lilly. Each needs a good outing, and Ken will be back with the scoreboard right after